everyone, welcome to Inside Talk Show. I'm Karla Elizondo, and today I'll be chatting with my friend Oren Sharif. Oren is an entrepreneur and the founder of Konnex, a new platform that helps people connect in an unforgettable way. But most importantly, he's a new friend of mine and a serious student of Bob Proctor, and he is an ambitious goal setter. So please help me welcome my friend Oren Sharif. Well, hello, Oren. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
Doing great, Karla.
You and I met unofficially in Clubhouse, but we were already in the same weekly masterclass with Bob Proctor, which you are one of the most dedicated students that I have met so far. And I'm so excited to dive into these luscious topics with you. So to get started, what kicked off your personal development journey in your life?
Yeah, so my personal development story started when I picked up Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill when I was 26. And if people haven't heard that story before, I go into detail into that on my website, konnex.co, konnex.co, and I'll explain my story. But I was 26 years old when I picked up that book, Think and Grow Rich. And at the time, I was working at a job, but I knew there was something greater for me that lied within my destiny. So I think finding that book started my destination, my entire journey of getting to where I am now. It's funny because 26 was exactly the same age Bob was when he picked up the book.
Yeah, you're right. You're so right. And then, so you kind of just dove into that world. Did you know of Bob Proctor before, or how did you find out about the book to start with?
I'll read you a quote that Bob says all the time. Everything you are seeking is seeking you. So since I was seeking the knowledge of Bob and the law of attraction, I eventually found him. But I heard about him. I studied him and all the famous gurus, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, Jack Canfield. But something about that book attracted to me. And one thing led to the next. And I ended up being coached by Bob, which was amazing. But I think it's the fact that I was seeking personal development and I needed help getting to where I wanted to go. And a lot of people watching this now is probably thinking the same thing. That's why they tune into your show, Karla, and watching us. Bob told me this a long time ago, but he said, if you don't have somebody guiding you, helping you get to where you want to go, you may struggle, you may never get there. Everybody needs somebody to help them, to guide them, to get them to where they go. So I'd highly recommend finding a coach and mentor, and my team has a whole bunch of them. So you can check us out at konnexcoaching.com.
Yes, and I will also leave all of your information below to connect with you on Konnex. You have such big, lofty, just dreams and goals, and that's why I love to hear you talk and your story and how you implement this material, because all of us, let's be real, we can read all the books, we can watch all the seminars, we can watch all the YouTube videos, the TED Talks, but what Oren and I kind of study is there's that knowing doing gap. We can know. We can take all the seminars, but when you walk out after the 3 days or the week or the 6-month coaching even, yes, it's so important to find a coach or a mentor because there's always somebody that can be more objective and help you and see those blind spots that you don't see. But it's essentially at the end of the day of what you do with it. For so long, I resisted. I hated authority. I hated saying yes. I think I even shared the story with you when I went to my first seminar. I was like, nobody better ask me to be my coach. I would rather eat glass. Like, I did not want to be told what to do or just admit that I needed help. I think it takes a level of vulnerability and just honesty, humility. I think humility is so big. You kind of already touched on what I always say, what's the importance of having a mentor or a coach? And would you say that it changes for you? I think that we have different mentors and coaches at different areas. What do you think? Have you had different ones?
Yeah, I've had that question before. Yeah, I think in college at the University of Maryland, that's where I met my first few mentors and coaches. Just like Bob mentioned, I think one of Bob's biggest coaches was probably Earl Nightingale. However, before that, he had other people such as Ray Stanford, Lloyd Conan, and a few other mentors in his life. So I had more than just Bob. I had another really good professor at the University of Maryland. He taught entrepreneurship and engineering, and he actually was the first person to coach me and to show me a new way. I told him, I'm studying for a mechanical engineering degree and I want to do this and this. And he said, if you look into some entrepreneurship, you might be able to start your own business. And I flew with him to Germany. I went to Europe. I saw the most incredible things in the world. And that impression left such a strong image in my mind of something else that I could become. So yes, without a mentor or coach, You might be going at a certain level, but mentors and coaches, I believe, push you to the next level. They help you open your mind and expand your idea of what could you possibly do. And they really show you the greatness that lies within. A lot of people have a self-image of themselves. And Bob told me you can never outperform your self-image. So if you don't change your image in your mind, your results are never going to change. So having a coach or mentor could really help you and really help accelerate your growth.
Yes. Sit at the feet of wise people, people that have salt and pepper hair. They usually know more. And we want to think we know everything. We want to think that we've been through it, that we can figure it out on our own. Eventually, maybe as the years pass, yeah, you can, but do you want to learn the hard way, or do you want to maybe learn from someone else's mistakes or from their wisdom, from their lived truth? My favorite quote this week is, it takes 20 years to get 20 years of experience. I remember when I was 21, 22, I wanted to do it all and have it be done already. But now that I'm creeping towards 40, I'm like, okay, now I feel more settled. I feel more conviction. I have the experience. I have that. Nothing could have made up for that. I love that. Mentorship is so important. And you talked about paradigms or about settings, that kind of the cybernetic system, that if we have an image of ourselves and that tape that plays over and over, that we learn, that starts from the womb really till 8. That's kind of the spongy time. And I studied that in psychology. What would you say a paradigm is?
Yeah, so from my understanding, Carla, Bob taught me that a paradigm is a multitude of habits. And most of the time, these habits you come from both of your parents, your mother and your father, and you're conditioned with their way of thinking. Now, unless your parents' last name is Trump or Rockefeller, you may not know how to build a wealthy conscious in your mind or how to even do it. So it's your responsibility to find people who've done it before who can show you. So my paradigm, I didn't come from a very wealthy background. However, I found people that knew about wealth, prosperity, finance, personal development, and then I hired them as my coaches. And that's something you might even be thinking about doing. I highly recommend doing it because your paradigm that you're operating right now is also producing your results. And like we mentioned before, you have to change the self-image and change in order to change the results. But your paradigm is something that's very difficult to change. And I know this, and Bob talked about this. There's only 2 ways to change a paradigm. One is through constant spaced repetition of a new model. The second is through an emotional traumatic impact. Now, for me, I had both happen to me. I think I was 27. I was involved in a very horrible motorcycle accident, and that was an emotional impact that woke me up. And if you go to connexmotorcycleaccident.com or even search on YouTube, Konnex Motorcycle, that's the day I woke up in the hospital and I told the world what my dream was. I want to go and build Konnex, and I'm going to stop at nothing to do it. So I had a big emotional impact in my life. On top of that, I also had constant spaced repetition because I hired Bob as a coach. So if you had either the or, either way, both should work to help you change the paradigm, but it's a constant thing. You have to study and study every day. I'll tell you a story. Bob once mentioned when he met Ray Stanford, he asked Ray about studying. How often does he need to study? Because most people just think you can study for a month or 2 months and you're done. He said, hey, Ray, how long do I have to study this book, Think and Grow Rich? And Ray looked at Bob and he said, Bob, you have to study this forever. And Bob said, oh, okay, Ray. So, and if you think about it, and everyone can go look him up now, Bob is still studying the same book. He's still studying Think and Grow Rich every day. And it makes you think, why? Why is he still doing that? And he mentions it all the time. If you read a good book the second time, you'll find something in it that you didn't see before. You'll find something in yourself that you didn't see before. So that's why he's reading every day. And I still read every day too. But working at a paradigm, you have to do it every day. It's not a one-time thing. It's constant study.
Right. And that is the thing that we study through repetition. I was just having a conversation with my friend last night, and I remember something Bob said. He goes, that subconscious mind. I think I show this picture in every single episode I do now. The little picture of the stick man and the mind. Like, this is our subconscious mind. That is where all the rules are written. And he was like, that's where the rule book is. That's where those, say, the commandments are. If you had 2 stone tablets with all the written rules that you got told over and over and over from your mom, your environment, your church, if you went to one, your schooling, your friends, surroundings, environment, the things you see, hear, smell, taste, touch over and over from the womb to 8. And they were etched in over and over. You know, if you ever carved on a tree when you were younger, the deeper you went, the longer it lasts. It's deep in there, right? And it's going to last. Just picture you have that rule book in your subconscious mind, and they're tablets that were written over and over for years. And so what we do now when we find something we don't like, we think we severely underestimate what we have to do to change it. Because like you said, it's hard to change, whether it be through an emotional impact like a car accident, which you went through, or time-space repetition, which really is what we should do. But the equivalent is we have this idea, oh, I want to change this. That's like, I want to go on a diet because I've been overweight for so many years. So we take a very light piece of sandpaper and think that just by going in and rubbing it a couple minutes a day, that is really going to etch out those deep rivets. No, you have to take the thickest, roughest sandpaper with a blaster and do it for hours a day, proverbially. Like, that's how much it takes. Like, you got to go full force because those paradigms, those nasty habits we have, they're relentless, dude. They don't let us sleep. So why should we let the positive things go? I love that story. You answered all my questions, by the way. I was going to say, so what were your paradigms when you were younger? So it sounds like you kind of grew up with not so good paradigms around maybe business and money. Mm-hmm. When you changed it, did you receive any pushback from your family or surroundings? Was it hard to get out?
Yeah, that's another interesting question. And, that's a question that I'm sure a lot of people are now struggling with. Bob told me this a long time ago, but he said, as you're moving from your current paradigm to your next paradigm, in your mind, I think it's something capable in your mind of what you can do. However, the people that you were surrounded with in this area, as much as they love you, they don't want to see you go. And, they have the best interest for you, but they just don't want to see, because they will have to adjust to your absence. As you're moving to the next level, they will all have to adjust, your mother, your father, your friends, because they're at this level. So as you move to the next level, just remember, the people that you are currently with and associated with, you will attract a new set of friends and a new set of people, which is what I did. Bob told me those people that you're associating with, you can still spend time with them, but I wouldn't spend as much time as you're currently doing. You're moving to a new level. You're moving to a new frequency, and you will attract people at a higher frequency. Naturally, your old friends and people you used to hang out with, they'll naturally just kind of gravitate out of your life, just like what happened to me. But you have to stay focused. You have to stay focused on your goal. Hold the image of the goal of what you want in your mind and see yourself getting what you want. And as you do that, you will attract new people into your life. It might feel a little uncomfortable at first, but just know that you are on the way to where you want to go. And the people that were in your life before, they might say things to you like, you can't do this, you're not able to achieve your dream. Just say, I understand. I understand that you don't understand what I'm doing. And that's it. So you got to just stay focused on what you want to do. I think in Napoleon Hill's book, he talks about having a mind tightly closed to any opposition. So another quote that Bob told me was, never let outside circumstances affect your inner thinking. And that's a problem a lot of people have. A lot of people base their decisions on the money they have in their account, what people say, current events happening. Again, never let outside circumstances affect your inner thinking. So as you're moving from this level to the next level, just keep your mind tightly closed against anyone that's giving you negativity and stay focused on your goal. Hold that dream clearly in your mind. What did Napoleon Hill said? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
I'm working on a goal. You are really manifesting your goal of Konnex and building a huge, empire. How do you stay, because we can all get these ideas and get excited about them. How do you stay focused when we really start that race? How do you stay focused and keep that desire burning? What are things that you do? Do you do affirmations, or what do you do?
Sure, there's actually a few things that I do, and feel free to write this down. And we have this in our books, kind of the secrets to success and how we did it. I have a book called Konnex, A Guide to Success, that you can purchase online and through our website. I also have another book I published called Konnex, Master the Art of Networking, which I explain some of the tips, tools, and techniques I used to get to where I was. But to answer your question, the first thing I do is I use Earl Nightingale's time management strategy. The night before I go to sleep, I write down 6 goal achieving activities that I need to accomplish the next day. And I write down exactly what I need to do the next day. So when I wake up, the first thing I do, I write down 10 things I'm grateful for in my gratitude journal, which is available for you to purchase too. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I just move into action. I get to work. And Bob told me, if you do this technique, you'll achieve more things in a year than most people do in a lifetime. So that's a habit I picked up. And I think I explained this in another interview, but I didn't have this habit growing up. I was like everybody else. I would wake up, check my phone, check other things, and just be very reactive to the world. Whatever happened in the world, I would set my day. That's not what I do anymore. I set my day. I set exactly what's going to happen, and I attract that. I use the power of the subconscious mind and tips, tools, and techniques to make sure I stay focused on the time. You know, Bob has an hourglass on his desk, and I do too. And it's always good to look at it because it keeps you in check of remembering you don't know how much time you have left. So make sure you stay focused on your goal. And I also carry around a goal card with me. And a goal card is something that you can carry around, and you write your goal in present tense. I'm so happy and grateful now that. And that's something Bob showed me. And that too is also on our website on Konnex.co. So I have a various set of techniques and little habits that have helped me. And I think these habits have changed my life. And that's how I stay focused on my goal. The last thing, I write down my goal in present tense. I text it to one of my friends as an accountability partner. And then the next thing I do is I record it in a voice recording and I listen to it. I listen to myself saying what my dream, my goal, or my vision is. And that's something I highly recommend you do. I found it to be very effective for my life.
Yeah, it sounds like you really work daily at living from the inside out rather than living from the outside in. You dictate first how you're going to feel, what you're going to do, and then you go out in the world, as opposed to looking at, like you said, your bank account, the situations of the world, and then having it dictate how you feel. So not being a victim of circumstance, really starting using that power of your subconscious mind, using those higher faculties that we study, which is a whole new episode. Yeah, what I heard you say is habits. You have really good habits. And habits, this is one of my favorite quotes, habits is God's way of making good automatic. We don't have to think about it, because really paradigms are habits that are etched in that we don't even have to put thought into. They're just habits because we've been, through repetition, told over and over and over. So why not make them good to serve us? I love that. And lastly, why is it important for people to have goals?
This is a great question. And I actually have this in my bathroom. I look at it every day. I have a quote by Bob, and he said, in the absence of clearly defined goals, people will become enslaved by daily trivia, until they ultimately just become enslaved by it. So what he means in this quote is, if you don't have a goal, something big you're chasing after, you're going to get wrapped up in just daily things. So let me give you an example. When I was a young engineer in my 20s, I loved the jobs I worked at. However, I was kind of stuck in a daily trivia of just filling out Excel spreadsheets and kind of just doing mundane work. And that's because I didn't have a goal, a really big goal. I was perfectly fine getting involved in the things that a lot of people get involved in, and that was okay with me. And as I believed in that paradigm, I became enslaved by daily trivia, just very small, minimal things. And Bob talks about people have deep reservoirs of talent and greatness that lies within them, but most of the time they just have it hidden inside. I think that's why the whole point is of having a coach or mentor. They help you bring that out of you. And that's something Bob did for me. That might be something that, Karla is doing for you too by watching these videos. So I think having a coach or mentor is extremely important, but that greatness lies within you. And I think it's your responsibility to discover it.
I love that. Well, it is always a pleasure to talk to you. People can find you and your website at Konnex, Konnex.
Correct. Konnex.co. We also have KonnexCoaching.com, and we have Konnex TV. And we're doing a lot of great things.
Middle name is Konnex.
Oren connects Sharif, exactly. But we're doing a lot of great things at Konnex. And if you want to follow me, very public, we have a YouTube channel. And please, everybody, please follow Karla. She's one of the greatest and she's going big places. And we have a goal to get at least 1 million views on this. So please like, subscribe, share this with your friends, show everyone. And also another thing, if you found value in something that Karla or I said, go back and watch the whole video again, because there might be something in there that could help you. So please share with your friends and follow the legendary Karla.
Repetition, watch it over and over. Thank you so much, Oren. Well, I always have so much fun talking to you, and I can't wait to, we'll have a part 2 for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. I hope you enjoyed all of that. Oren is so full of wisdom and knowledge. He really knows this stuff. He is a serious student, and he motivated me to keep on my goals. As always, whenever I talk to him, repetition is key. So thank you for reminding me of that, Oren. And please connect with him. I'll put all of the information below. And as always, share this with anybody who you think would like it. I appreciate all of your love and support. I'll see you guys next time.